Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James, and I'm a mindset coach that loves to specifically focus on relationships. However, I'm not just limited to helping you with relationships. So if there are other areas of your life that you want to create peace, harmony, and abundance in, then feel free to reach out to me. Remember, life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. You are showing the world how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. When you become the change you seek to experience, you're going to experience that change everywhere you go. There's nothing in your way. That circumstances do not matter. You have the ability in this moment to become what it is that you want to experience. Okay. And in today's video, I want to talk about the power behind how you're choosing to show up. Okay. So if this is your first time here on my channel, I'm going to suggest that you start off with this video, how the subconscious mind works. Okay. That's number one. Number two, you're going to see that I have a few different affirmation tapes on my channel. I suggest that people start with the Limitless Manifestor affirmation tape. I'm going to link it up here. But also, if there's other ones that really you feel meet your needs, like money or career, or I have one for healing traumas and things like that, addictions, then use those. Use what feels good. Now, I want to talk about your ability to choose how you're showing up, which kind of piggybacks off of my video yesterday where I talked about power versus force, breaking patterns. And that's really what you're doing when you become very proficient at manifesting, is instead of perpetuating the same patterns in your reality, you become the change you seek to experience. And the beautiful thing is we have this amazing ability to literally manifest things to us, you guys. It's very real, okay? So not only by becoming this change are you going to be able to show up differently, you're going to literally attract in different versions of people, different circumstances. Everybody and everything is going to shift when you become that change. But the main thing that I want to really talk about here is the ability to choose. And before I get into this, I want to respond to a comment that I saw on my channel where somebody was saying, how do you deal with the circumstance if somebody is yelling at you? Okay. The main thing that I want to make very, 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 very clear on my channel is you do not ever endure abuse. Okay. Even with these concepts, it really does come down to your self-concept. So if people are showing up being abusive in your reality, that is something very, very deep within yourself that relates to worthiness and deserving. Are you responsible for them abusing you? No. And yes, to a certain degree. And let me explain the yes. The yes is if you have allowed yourself to be in circumstances and you've pacified behaviors because your self-concept at some level feels that that's what you deserve. Okay. And so that's what we're focusing on changing on my channel is, no, I'm worthy of love. I'm deserving of love. I'm worthy of success. I'm deserving of success. And nothing and nobody is going to get in the way of me receiving that. I'm not going to allow anything else into my reality anymore, except for the love, the peace, the harmony, the abundance that I innately deserve. Okay, so when I say to a certain degree, yes, you have to take that ownership piece of, have I been allowing people to treat me in ways that are not respectable or loving? And I've been allowing them to get away with it because I don't feel empowered enough to speak up, because I feel afraid, because I don't know how that would unfold, or because maybe in the past I've tried to deal with it, but I didn't get a reaction, and a reaction that moved towards the solution, and it just got worse. So this is where I'm going to talk a little bit more about power versus force, okay? When it comes to changing tricky dichotomies between you and people, let's say like there's yelling or abuse, the main thing that I want to say is take a full step back. Do not endure that. Do not sit there and allow somebody to tear you down. And my biggest word of advice, in my own self-concept, I have really grown to be able to stand up for myself. So I got bullied a lot as a child, as going through school, because I'm gay and it wasn't that widely accepted back then. And I remember as a kid, I would always, I didn't ever say anything back. And so was I responsible for those people bullying me? No and yes. I mean, there was a part of me that didn't feel comfortable with being gay and loving myself in that way. And I know that that translated. So it made me an easy target for people to pick on me. And then the second component of that is I didn't feel empowered enough to stand up for myself. So no, I'm not really responsible for that. But also at the same time, yes, because I know if I had been very accepting and comfortable with myself and coupled that with you can't talk to me that way. That is not okay. And I can do that in a way where I don't drop into a low state of being where I'm fearing or I'm, in hatred or shame or guilt or grief or anything like that, then I would have gotten different outcomes. So what do I mean by responding from a place of power? Okay. If you are coming from a space of love, so let's say somebody is being ignorant in your reality or rude or mean or judging you or putting you down, okay? Like for instance, somebody gay bashing me. I would not, first off, I would not manifest that now, okay? It really is not a part of my experience because I've shifted so much in my self-concept. But back then, if that were to show up in my reality and I could give myself advice now to my previous self, I would say, it's okay. You are totally worthy and deserving. And people that are showing up this way just do not understand you. They don't understand love. They're not accepting within themselves. So they're having a hard time accepting you. They're feeling uncomfortable. And so that is sad. Maybe they're raised in a household where their parents have taught them this ignorant way of being. And so from that perspective, if I were giving this advice to myself, instead of allowing myself to feel, judged or hateful or angry with these people, I would tell myself, don't be hateful or judgmental or go down to the same state of being that they're in. Be in love. See them as people that just are not able to understand you, and be in your power and say, you cannot treat me this way. Why? Because I'm worthy of love. I'm deserving. I'm an amazing individual. I respect you and I deserve that same respect in return. Okay. So always don't ever allow people to abuse you. Don't ever take that road of being non-reactive. If people are being extremely threatening, or, if there is abuse going on, just remove yourself completely. Okay. Do not stay with that. Okay. Work on your self-concept. Do not allow people to yell or scream in your face or disrespect you. None of that. Okay. Now I do want to talk about something else now, which was the main point of this video. And that is your ability to choose when you're changing your self-concept. Okay. So I just talked about this in my previous client session before I hopped on live. And one thing that you have to understand when I say you're creating the meaning behind the circumstances, you're creating the value that you assign to them. The combination of the experiences that you've had in your life that have created your self-concept, you are perpetuating as patterns. So I want you to step into the role of observer for a moment, okay? So for instance, with me, all of you have this version of me in your mind. You watch my videos, you see me here, you see my mannerisms, you see how I do this, right? And so you see all these things about me and you gather all this information. And in your mind, you have a version of who Dylan is, okay? Now, the thing though is you observe me through your beliefs, okay? And this is a very important thing to understand because when it comes to especially manifesting a specific person or work relationships or just differences in your reality where you want to break patterns, you have to understand that how you're observing people is created by you. The meaning that you put on circumstances is created by you. And not only that, okay, what I was saying in yesterday's video, which I'm going to link up here in case you didn't get to watch it, okay? What I was saying in yesterday's video is that you will literally see, if you have limiting beliefs or suppressed emotions in your subconscious mind, you will literally see the same exact patterns play out over and over and over again. You could have different people in different locations and different whatever, but the same circumstances will pop up. And it's almost like every day is Groundhog Day. Your power is in your ability to choose how you're going to respond to it, to choose whether or not you're going to perpetuate your pattern and observe it the same. Okay. So the first thing is you have to ask yourself, you need to be very aware of, am I still observing these circumstances through my old belief system? Meaning if Dylan shows up, I'm going to use myself in third person. Okay. I'm imagining that I'm you. If I were to show up and say something to you, are you observing what I'm saying through your old belief system? Dylan said this. Oh my gosh, because he said this, this means that he doesn't want to talk to me now. Well, you're creating that meaning, right? And so when you step into a new belief system, you have to ask yourself, am I creating in my mind the same circumstances that I've been going through? Or have I shifted into the new belief system where I am trusting? I know that I'm worthy. I know that I'm deserving. I can have fun. I can be playful. I can be light. I'm safe. I'm secure. There's no threats here. Everything is working. That's really important, because when you can observe how you are observing the circumstances, you can see whether or not you're operating in your new belief system or your old self-concept. Okay, that's why I've said on my channel too, the circumstances don't exist. Because if you, like, let's take you out of the equation, all right? So you had all these experiences in your childhood and everything and blah, blah, relationships that have played out and all these things, okay? So wherever you go, right? So imagine you're just a completely brand new person that never had those experiences, a completely brand new person that never had those patterns, never had those experiences. Would you still be observing the circumstance the same way? Would you be fearful or scared or thinking that this person is going to do X, Y, and Z? No, you wouldn't. So that's where you need to become aware of how you're observing your reality, because a lot of what manifestation is breaking patterns, is being able to no longer perpetuate the same storyline in your reality. And in order to do that, you have to really shift into a new version of yourself. And you have to understand that when you're in that new version of yourself, the awareness of those previous circumstances is going to be completely gone. I'm always receiving, I'm worthy, I'm deserving. And then there may be moments where some of the old story will pop up. I'm going to say there's not, but I have to give you this information in case this happens, okay? If you see moments of the old belief system popping up, you're observing negatively, you get a weird circumstance that's popping up in your reality, see that as a test for you to prove to yourself that this no longer has power in my life. And you can do that in two ways. You can either remove yourself from the circumstance. If it's really ugly, don't endure abuse. You can either be non-reactive and make it powerless, or you can be in your power, which is standing up for yourself and be like, no, this is not okay. I'm worthy, I'm deserving. I don't need to prove that I'm worthy and deserving. We respect and love one another, and we're moving towards success, okay? And so you just want to be observant and really recognize that your power is in your ability to choose how you're showing up, okay? When you choose to consistently show up that everything is done, I'm now receiving, the answers, ideas, inspirations are coming to me, it's working, I'm allowed to be playful, I feel safe, I feel secure, you're going to see that become your experience. So a lot of the manifesting process is completely releasing the old and living in the end of this new self-concept. You are becoming the change. When you become the change, you're going to experience it. You're going to shift the people around you into a new patterned way of being with you. It does work. Not only that, you will literally see that things will manifest to you. That's another component. So even if you haven't had contact with somebody, even if you haven't seen them or whatever's going on, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, okay? It doesn't matter. They will find you. They will come to you. It doesn't matter, okay? Alrighty, so I do have to get going because I have to get into a session. I'm 2 minutes late, but I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about this and remind you that your power is in your ability to choose what you're giving power to and what you're no longer giving power to. Stand in that power and know that as you stand firmly in that knowing, you're going to get new results, okay? It should be enjoyable. If it's not feeling good, if you're not allowing yourself to relax in your reality, readjust, because manifesting is not a trying process. You're not trying to manipulate or calculate or do all these things. It's about deciding what it is that you're creating and fully releasing the past, living in the present moment and being in a deep state of trust and enjoyment and being like, yeah, it's done. It's okay. Everything's okay. I'm in love. I'm creating love. Everything's working. If things pop up, I can work through it and break those patterns. I'm always moving towards the answer. It's done now. The old stuff, that's done. This is the new me. I'm now the new me. I'm now receiving new results. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you for all the new people here. Thank you for all the thumbs up. I love you all so much. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.